Does Miami have the best running back room in the country? CBS Sports seems to think so. And we also talk about Lot Impact Trophy preseason award winner on the list, Bryce Fitzgerald. Much more coming up today on the show. We talking the 305. What's going on, y'all, man? Welcome back, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and hype up the video, man. We got news for you guys today. All right, we're talking about hurricanes. Now, those that are watching, please make sure you guys go vote. All right. So a lot of you guys are still Georgia Tech fans, which I love. I'm gonna do more Georgia Tech content. That's just what it is. But I do want to connect with more fan bases like Miami, like Tennessee, like Georgia, like Alabama, like Texas. So please, if you guys are fans, you like the content, like it, subscribe it. Let me know, man. Hit me in the comments. I'm on all platforms. I would love to get more connections with you guys and definitely get more content that you guys would want to see. Man, I'm trying to grow this thing. We've been growing to 5,000 subscribers. So shout out to y'all, and I'm going to continue to grow it at a very, very, very high level. All right. So let's talk Hurricanes. Hurricanes were voted by CBS Sports as the number one running back room in the country. All right. So when we look at it, right, it says they return a stable of backs with different skill sets, led by Mark Fletcher Jr., who enters the season as my number two running back. Fletcher is an elite in all areas and a leader who can take over games as he did in the college football playoff last season. Fletcher rushed for almost 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. He's a nice blend of power and speed, understands blocking concepts, and is rarely tackled for a loss. Shamar Brown is a nice blend of power with good vision and scored 7 touchdowns while rushing for nearly 500 yards. Jordan Lyle started the season at our running back one and has good speed, but got in the doghouse early and disappeared. Gerard Pringle is more of a smaller speedster who excels on outside runs and has excellent speed. He rushed for 375 yards on limited touches. Those three all have the abilities to start at many college programs, and each brings unique skill set to complement Fletcher. All right. So that was obviously the list of the top running back rooms. And you see that Miami is number one. Now, I do agree with him. I think Miami does have one of the top running back rooms in the country. And I think for Mark Fletcher, he really put the whole Miami room on notice, right? Because last year they had good running backs, but his performance and his play, like you go back to that Texas A&M game when they were struggling, they needed plays. Like Mark Fletcher came through, right? Ole Miss, like there were several games he had last season where he came up big time for Miami, and he was a dependable player for them and reeled off big time runs, right? The key for Miami this year is the depth of the position, right? So can Shamar Brown, can Gerard Pringle, can those guys help out Fletcher? Because now you get to a point where Fletcher's going to be keyed in on more, right? Obviously, people are going to key in on Malachi Tone, and we'll see what Cooper Barcade, Darian Mensah can do. But now they're going to start to key in on Mark Fletcher. So now you're going to need the next backs to come in, right? He's going to need to get a spell. He shouldn't have more to me than 20 carries a game. You're going to need Mark Fletcher for the long haul this year if you're the Hurricanes. If you want to take another step forward and you want to win a national championship, which is to be expected this year for the Hurricanes, you're going to need these other guys to step up. It can't be the Mark Fletcher show. And that's not saying that he can't do it. He can, but we want to keep him healthy. We're going to need him on the latter part of the season where he took over last year, right? So we need guys like Brown and Lyle. We need those guys to step up this year, right? 500 yards for Brown. We need that again this upcoming year, right? Power, good vision, speed. We're going to need that this upcoming season. We need guys that are coming in there like a Jordan Lyle, or a Pringle. Like I'm expecting a big year from Gerard Pringle this upcoming year, right? He got to do what he needs to do. Needs to get more touches, of course, right? And with those touches, keep being efficient, right? That's the biggest thing. Be efficient with your touches. And for Lyle, you're going to have to get out of the doghouse. You're going to have to continue to lock in, right? Because all these guys have different skill set and can bring different things. Some are better as receivers. Some are better with down blocking. Some are better with zone read. Like you're going to have to be able to do that because people are going to key in on this pass now. I'm going to go and put that out there. And this is advantageous for Miami because people are going to try to look at it like, oh, well, we're going to have to play spread defense. We're going to have to play, 3 wide receiver sets against them. So we're going to have to play some nickel. We're going to have to play some 4-2-5. We're going to have to play some dime coverages and stuff because Miami has too many players on the outside that can light it the hell up, right? in this wide receiver room, I'm excited about. I like Cooper Barkley alongside Malachi Tony. I like Vandrius Jacobs. I like some of these pieces they got. But the key going forward is if this running game can be a good complement to that, it makes Darian Minsow's job that much easier, right? And for that to happen, everybody has to contribute. Everybody has to step up. Everybody has to have a role, right? It can't be just the Mark Fletcher show because we only got one back. If he goes down, knock on wood, we're going to be in a world of trouble, right? So that's going to be very important for my Hurricanes moving forward. I do think we got one of the best running back rooms in the country, though. I do. But now it's just, can we blend that? Can Shannon Dawson, can he do what he's supposed to do? Can he use all of these ones, right? Because when you have some of those games earlier in the season, we don't need to give Mark Fletcher that many touches, right? If we got these young thoroughbreds that can step up, it makes us that much better for it, right? So I will say, I do love that we're getting this hype. I do love that we're getting this and that this is happening. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see more of it, right? That's just the bottom line. I want to see more of it. And I think we have everything we need in order to be dangerous this year. Now it's Pringle. Now it's Jordan Lyle. Now some of these guys got to step up and take the next step forward for my Hurricanes. But I love to see them number one. All this preseason hype, we got to just make sure we answer the call, answer the bell, and do what the hell we're supposed to do. Okay? Period, point blank, bottom line. All right? Now, I want to get into a little bit of Bryce Fitzgerald. I think he deserves more love, right? So Bryce Fitzgerald is among college football's best ball hawks, right? Excuse me. Last season, Miami Hurricanes finished second in ACC with 16 interceptions. 6 came from freshman safety Bryce Fitzgerald, although Malachi Tony got most of the attention. We all know that. 16 tackles, 10 solos, 6 assisted tackles, tackle for loss, a sack, 2 pass breakups to go along with the leading 6 interceptions in the ACC. Right? So it's going to be a little bit harder because after you had a success freshman year, people start to have tape on you. People start to know what you like to do. People start to know some of your tendencies and things like that. So they're going to make it more difficult for Bryce Fitzgerald. But he made a number of plays in that Texas A&M game that lifted my Miami Hurricanes to where they were supposed to go, right? The earlier one that kind of set them up so they can go get the only score of the game pretty much from a touchdown standpoint. And then he pretty much sealed the game right here, right? So we know Bryce has everything he needs to be successful. We know that he's one of those guys. So this year I don't need to see 8 to 10 interceptions. He doesn't need to do all that, right? I want to see him get more tackles, though. Only 16 tackles. I want to see that number increase. Now, mind y'all, right? He was behind some guys, right? He didn't start. Okay, he was rotating in, but he was so good, like they couldn't keep him off the field. Period. Like he was that good. So it goes to show you, even with limited reps, you could be that guy. Like he was behind Zachariah Poyser and Jacoby Thomas, but still came in and made an impact. Now you're the guy, right? How do you answer that bell? How do you answer the bell of getting picked on, right? Because now you are safety one, right? You're going to be the guy that the younger guys look to in order to know what to do, right? You got to create those good habits, right? And you got to bring it every single play. That's what I loved about Jacoby Thomas. He brought it every single play. And it was a great transfer pickup from Tennessee for us. But now it's Fitzgerald's time. And I think he's poised to do it. I like him a lot. I think he has great potential. But now I want to see him get more tackles, get more forced fumbles, get more TFLs. You know what I'm saying? Being able to move all around the field, being able to play practically any position, right? And continue to be the ball hawk that he is. If he went down and he only had 4 interceptions, I'd be okay with that. That'd be fine with me. I don't have no issue with that when it comes to Bryce Fitzgerald, right? But now I want to see his game take the next step because there's question marks on his defense a little bit. Linebacker room, we feel good, right? We got Damon Wilson at the edge rusher position, but we're going to need to limit some of those big plays. That kind of hurt us a little bit last year, right? It was a good defense, but sometimes we get with the big plays at the wrong time, right? And I don't know if that pass rush is going to be as good when you don't have Ruben Bain Jr., you don't have Akeem Messenger, right? So now the secondary is going to have to take another step forward, right? And that's going to be led, obviously, by Bryce Fitzgerald. But without a doubt, he's one of the best ball hawks in the nation. Now it's just, can he take the next phases of his game to another level, right? Because he could easily be a top first-round draft pick. He has that type of a talent. Now it's just this year, you're the top safety, you're the guy. How do you answer that? Because sometimes guys have sophomore slumps. We see it all the time in different positions. We've seen it with Ryan Williams, right? Sophomore slumps is a part of the game. But can you avoid that if you're Bryce Fitzgerald? Can you take a step forward? right? Because you don't want to have a great, freshman season, number 2 rated, basically according to Pro Football Focus, and then not be as good the next year. That's the biggest thing when it comes to him. I think he can do it, but it's going to be interesting to see if he can take the next phases of his games to another level. All right. All right, man. That's going to do it for today's show, though. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Trying to grow this thing. Try to see how many Miami fans I got. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff, man. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Hype the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right. And remember, it's always peace and love. And y'all know where to come if you want to hear about the 305.